The Foxhole summer update has finally arrived, but unfortunately it comes with some bad news. The release for the Airborne update has been delayed. Honestly, I had a feeling this might happen when the spring update was announced a bit later than usual, and the devs lightly hinted during that dev stream that they were running a little behind on their timeline for this year.
We are still focused on the Airborne update, but I think it was pointed out to us that we should that we wouldn't feel right about going into Airborne without at least fixing some of those core problems that we tried to fix 2 patches ago.
We are working on Airborne in the background. There's active content and features being worked on still, but we did carve out more time to focus on the builder sides for a while, and that will impact the Airborne schedule a bit, and we're still having to figure out what that impact is, and we'll have more updates on that in the future, so stay tuned on that.
The devs officially stated 2 main reasons for the Airborne delay. First, they ended up spending more time than expected polishing the previous update. As they put it, the increased development effort for this update pushed back the Airborne schedule, but we believe this time was well spent, end quote. The second reason is they want to take the extra time to make sure Airborne is done right, and honestly I don't blame them. This is going to be a massive update and could cause a big spike in the player base if it's handled well. I'd much rather they take their time so we don't end up with major bugs or broken features. They also mentioned that we'll hear more about the release date later this year. Personally, I think I'd be surprised if it still happens in 2025. If it does, my guess would be late November or early December. Even though the delay is disappointing, the devs did share more about what's coming with Airborne. The devs stated this: the goal with Airborne was to develop gameplay that was consistent as possible with Foxhole's core tenets. This means that logistics, strategy, impacting the large persistent war, and of course working with lots of other players will be at the forefront of gameplay, end quote. I believe this was a friendly reminder from the devs that this is a team game. Don't expect to be joining the Airborne war and finding a way to build planes by yourself. You're going to need to work with others as a team, just like players do with facilities for tank production or navy production. Next, the devs went on to say that the experience of flying a plane in aerial combat will be relatively simple. This honestly makes a lot of sense given the camera perspective in Foxhole. The devs specifically stated that don't expect Crimson Skies or War Thunder type dogfights. If you want more realistic aerial combat, you'll need to find another game for that. The devs currently make it sound like planes will take on more of a supporting role, like conducting bomb runs to help push the front forward, or clear defenses for easier naval landings. There will also be roles focused on rearming and maintaining aircrafts between missions, to keep them ready for the next flight. At launch, each faction will have multiple aircraft types. They showed concept art for the Colonial Dive Bomber and the Warden Recon plane. I'm not a plane expert, so I'll let the aviation buffs weigh in on how effective these might be in battle, and what other aircrafts might come out based on the ones we've seen so far. The part of this update I found the most fascinating was showing the concept art for the airfields. According to the devs, airfields will play a critical logistics role for aircraft and will be where player crews rearm and prepare aircrafts for missions, end quote. In this concept art, they showed the art for Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 airfields. I noticed for the large hangar it lists aircraft stockpile and aircraft spawn point. From that, I'm assuming aircrafts just won't be left sitting out, and partisans won't be able to mess with them unfortunately, unless players forget to store them away. Also, from the looks of it, these will take up a lot of space, so I wouldn't be surprised if the map needs to expand significantly to accommodate multiple regiments building them. And that's all the Airborne information we got for now. At least with the bad news of the delay, we got some more insight of what they're planning to do, and gave us some more things to daydream about while we wait. Now on to the rest of Update 62. This is one of the smaller yearly updates that the devs do before major updates. One of the first changes is the devs added vehicle logs. This long-awaited request allows players to view a timeline of events for a vehicle, similar to the system already in place for structures. Each vehicle now has a unique worldwide ID that is visible in its log, which records a wide range of actions such as locking, unlocking, wrenching, region travel, production or stockpile retrieval, and more. I love that the devs are adding more record-keeping things like this in the game. This honestly helps against things like alts in this game. I also wonder how far we will get to see in the log. If a tank survives an entire war, will it show 20 or plus 30 days of the logs? Maybe we should have the vehicles drop some type of journal when destroyed to see these logs. Next, we have changes to storm cannons. Players in War 126 have been very vocal about wanting changes to storm cannons, and the devs are listening. There will be a new mechanic added to the 300mm platforms. It'll be called barrel heating. Firing the storm cannon now causes heat, and after enough shells are fired, the cannon must cool down before it can be used again. I think this is a really cool immersive change to the game that I think players have talked about and wanted for a long time. It'd be interesting to see it added to smaller artillery equipment as well. Maybe we could use buckets of water to cool them down faster. Next, our little construction equipment buddy got a few quality of life tweaks made to it. The construction equipment can now be placed on bunkers, and can now help build emplacement weapons as well. They also cost less refined materials, which is nice. Hopefully these changes will help get some more use out of it. I honestly wanted to see a range increase on it, but maybe that will come in another update. And last, there are 6 other smaller quality of life changes. I didn't find anything too notable to talk about or expand upon these changes. Let me know if you have other thoughts about these smaller changes. The patch notes have also been released. I will make sure to leave a link to them in the description below. Looking through them, I didn't find anything notable or any major changes in there as well. And that's all for the summer update 62. Overall, I'm honestly glad the devs are taking their time with the Airborne update. I'd rather wait a bit longer and get a well fleshed out feature than see it rushed and risk hurting the game. Too many projects in gaming these days get pushed out too quickly and end up suffering for it. We don't want to see our planes glitching out into outer space. While we wait for the release, make sure to use Regiment Finder to either join a group planning to focus on Airborne, or start your own regiment and begin recruiting so you're ready when it finally drops. I'll leave a link to the website down below. What did you think about Update 62? Are you glad they delayed Airborne, or are you disappointed? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching and for your support. Make sure to subscribe for more Foxhole content. I'll see you out on the battlefield. Cheers.